I want to bring in Maureen Wirtz right now. Now, Maureen, you're over, as I said, at the farmer's market. Before we talk fruits and veggies, let's talk hardware and history, because you see it everywhere you are here in Matthews.
Yeah, Alicia, especially if you know where to look. So we're right here on Trade Street and walk around here, and it does feel like you're going back in time. And we learned history is important here, and they want people to know where they've been and where they're going. It's easy to forget that time passes. Days can just fade away if you're not paying attention. But on Trade Street in Matthews, there are solid storefront reminders of what was and what used to be.
Well, it is old.
History is the main character in town.
Put some honey in a jar lid out there with some pebbles in it to try to see if you can get some bees to come in.
And there's no greater example of that than at Renfro Hardware and General Merchandise.
We don't need to Google much. We've got it figured out. And there's 6 of us, and usually between the 6 of us, somebody will have encountered it.
David Blackley owns the hardware store that's been around since 1900. Yes, you heard that right, 122 years.
This is typical of what every town had a generation or 2 ago. It just happens that this one has survived, and by a hook or crook.
But it's not just Renfro's.
Our historical marker is just on the corner of the building.
There are 10
This was a house. This was built in 1879.
national historic landmarks all along Trade Street.
And after the bicentennial, people started to realize the value of understanding what the old meant.
A beer hall that was a post office. A pizza place that was the telephone switchboard. A mercantile that was a mercantile.
Matthews has grown so much from when I first moved here. We only had a couple of restaurants and Renfro Hardware across the street.
Change has happened around Matthews, but the town has made a consistent and concentrated effort to stay true to the past.
Are they getting about 3 inches long and then turning brown and falling off?
So for those just visiting, a tip from the locals.
Most of our people come in the back door. When you came in the front door, I knew you hadn't been here before.
Take a pause, because time is meant to be enjoyed. We definitely went through the front door over at Renfro's, but it's such an interesting place. Even the floors are the same as they were in the 1900s, and all the people come here from all over because it's such a special place. Now, Alicia, I have to tell you that as we were standing there, I was listening to some of these phone calls, and people were calling about chickens, about fixing their plants, all of these things. And I was like, You don't need Google. Who needs Google?